Welcome to Triggered Wrestling and welcome to Season 2, Episode 1. Officially today, we're starting a new era of Triggered Wrestling. Same triggered energy, same two triggered marks. I'm Brian. We're going to get into AEW Dynamite and Monday Night Raw, so stay tuned. We got that triggered energy for you.
Triggered Wrestling is so awesome all the way around. That gets me triggered.
Ooh, okay, well, let's go with the bad trigger right now.
See, I'm a fan of all of it.
We'll force you to watch Triggered Wrestling.
Welcome to Triggered Wrestling. My name is Brian. Adrian, how are you doing today, my lovely co-host?
Bro, Season 2 is on track right now. Man, that introduction was perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself. Kudos to you, my guy.
Well, let's just get into it. We're going to do a quick recap review of AEW Dynamite and Monday Night Raw, and we'll see where the wind takes us here, because I know we had quite a couple discussions here via text over both of these shows. So let's get started with AEW Dynamite, just because that was the most recent one. Starting off the promo here, we had a mandatory meeting of the JAS. They all talk shit to Chris Jericho and they all leave him. Adrian, what do you got to say about this promo?
I pretty much called it last week. They were basically going to have a tribal court from Wish type of segment, and correct. Pretty much everybody came in, said their lines, kept it moving, and pretty much left Jericho by himself in the ring.
I just want to say, Adrian, because you'll always talk mess about how Monday Night Raw episodes start off with a 15-minute promo, and here we are, a 15-minute promo to start off AEW Dynamite. They go to commercial break and they come back and it's still Chris Jericho getting interviewed. So no triggered energy there?
Oh, yes. Mainly because they pretty much asked Jericho when they came back from break, how do you feel about this? Did you join the Don Callis family? Don Callis shows up and he says, oh my God, Jericho, if it's my fault, I'm completely sorry. And Jericho says, no, don't worry about it. Next week, I'll give you my yes or no answer. So he's giving an announcement for an announcement next week. Something that TK is notorious for doing.
Yeah, the thing that grinded my gears is that Chris Jericho called this mandatory meeting himself last week, and then here he is. He didn't even get a word in. So what kind of mandatory meeting was this, really?
It was pretty much an ambush, I should say. Yes, Jericho called the meeting, but we already know that JAS was pissed as fuck, and they let him have it. Daniel Garcia pretty much said, hey, you're my hero. I didn't join people like Daniel Bryan's faction, or I didn't go with anybody else. I was by your side, and you backstabbed me. And he did the little pelvic thrust of death and walked out the ring. Daddy Magic lived with Jericho. He missed his son's first steps to be at Blood and Guts with Jericho. And this is what Jericho does to the man. Oh my God. Just thinking about it makes me tearing up, man. This is cinema at its finest.
Cinema at its finest, bro. I can't believe you just said that right now. Oh my God. Anyways, continuing along here, we get the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Brothers to see who is the best brother tag team outside of the Guns here. I think this is the third time they fought in AEW. The Young Bucks win with the BTE trigger on Matt Hardy.
I like this match, and I'll tell you why. First, let's start off with this. We knew the Hardy Boys weren't going to win. Come on. I mean, you saw them on the ring. They didn't look prime Hardy Boys, and they're kind of old.
Kind of old, bro? They should have stopped wrestling like last year. After the fifth DUI that Jeff Hardy had. They probably both should have stopped.
Jeff Hardy, probably yes. Matt Hardy, he thinks he still has some in the tank, but I mean, who's going to tell these old guys to hang up the boots? Nobody's telling Sting, and by God, nobody's telling Ric Flair to hang up the boots.
But they should. They really should.
Yes, they really should.
After this match, we get an interruption here where it seemed like the Young Bucks were going to do a promo. FTR come out, they stare at each other down, and then the Marks go wild, bro. They're just having a stare down, and they're just chanting, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Fucking Marks, bro.
This was Icons versus Icons. WrestleMania 17 vibes over here, bro. All in. The stage is set. FTR
Trash
versus Young Bucks 3 at All In. Wembley Stadium.
All I know is that they get too much "This is awesome" chants for literally nothing. They just stared at each other. They said All In. They both walk out. It was ridiculous. They just stood there staring at each other for a ridiculously long, awkward amount of time. It was really weird.
I usually like those stare downs. I remember remember one day, and you're gonna probably clown me on this, you're probably gonna expose me on this. I remember when The Undertaker was making his comeback, and he was doing like this vignettes in a cabin, and it was saying, oh, he's coming. And then when he finally came down with Johnny Cash, Ain't No Grave. And then right then, he showed up at the squared circle. Next thing you know, none other than The Game shows up. Both men have a stare down and point at the WrestleMania sign. That, I mean, I'm not gonna say it was similar to that, but those stare downs for wrestling fans, those are amazing. And to me, for a fan that hates
Bro,
Paul Levesque,
stop, my guy. You did not just compare Triple H and The Undertaker to FTR and the Young Bucks, bro.
I just told you I'm not comparing, but to me as a wrestling fan, I like those stare downs.
Nah, bro. When you say I'm not comparing, bro, you're comparing. For example, if someone were to say not to talk shit, but, and then they start talking shit, I mean, not to compare, but boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing.
I mean, I'm not putting it at the level of excitement, but I'm putting it in there as one of the greats. Stare downs. That's just me. And that's me. Somebody that hates Paul Levesque.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of icon versus icon, I guess you could say, we have MJF and Adam Cole doing another buddy-buddy promo. Another buddy-buddy gimmick segment here of being best buds. This time they go to a trampoline jump place instead of going to a bar as MJF wants. And he ends up playing dodgeball with the kids. And I feel like they're really reaching for humor here. Adrian, what do you think?
The humor was there. This reminded me of one of the best comedy movies of all time, Billy Madison. When Billy Madison was attacking those kids on the playground with a dodgeball, that was comedic gold. And it reminded me of that exact same scene.
It was not even the same at all.
It was funny AF. And then after, the little girl, when she flipped off MJF and called him a nerd, MJF, that...
It was Adam Cole. She flipped off Adam Cole, and Adam Cole, being the goof that he is, couldn't get the cajones to throw it himself and had MJF. Yeah, he's had MJF handle that business.
You know what's funny about that? I was reading online, and a lot of people, mainly WWE fans, hated that scene. A lot of people were saying, wow, a lot of AEW fans are advocating for child abuse. Wow, this is a well-known thing for AEW fans to be child abusers. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, bruv? This is a scripted television segment, bro.
All I know is I'd rather watch FTR shave each other's backs, bro, than watch this segment again.
Pause.
And that's a no, bro, that's a reference to back when they were the Revival. But either way, I thought that was a lot more interesting than this. This was trash. Poor booking. Anyways, we come back from break and we see the Blackpool Combat Club cutting a promo on the Best Friends, hoping that they learned their lesson and that tonight they got the Lucha Bros. They all sound tough, and then Wheeler Yuta talks, bro.
That Wheeler Yuta, man, he tries to be so tough. Like, what do you think it's gonna take for Wheeler Yuta to change his character to actually be the threat that he wants to be?
That boy needs steroids. That boy needs steroids and a haircut, or let his hair grow out, bro. I don't know what he needs, but I know females with deeper voices than him.
To be honest, yes, you're right. Probably a little bit muscular, longer hair, make it look like I don't know, a trench coat. Something. Put a trench coat on him, long hair. He
should change his gear or something, bro. Because, I mean, let's go with annoying voices. Like, Nate Diaz, to me, has an annoying voice. Exactly. Yeah, I'm from Stockton with Stockton tough guys. Mike Tyson has an annoying voice, you know? But at least they can fucking back it up. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
At least they can back it up.
I was going to say, hey, Nate Diaz, Mike Tyson, I'm not part of this, but you saved yourself.
But they can back it up, bro. And maybe he can, bro. But I just don't see it on this character he's portraying. Maybe a different character would fit him a lot better. I don't know.
Or maybe just don't talk.
I think that's what they're trying to do here. But see, they've been pushing him so much, bro. They have to have him talk at least so often. And this reminds me of this conversation we had with James from Distance Nerding. He was just like, bro, they got to let Wheeler Yuta talk. In my head, I'm like, nah, bro. He can't talk shit.
Yeah, I remember that interview with James. Yeah, shout out to James and the whole Distance Nerdy team out there.
Phil, all y'all.
But he was right. He was right. Yeah, they need to have him let him talk. I mean, I'm not a big fan of talking and a big fan of promos, but occasionally they're necessary.
Yeah. Speaking of people that also don't know how to talk, we have Jack Perry versus Rob Van Dam, and this is what the internet was calling Icon versus Icon WrestleMania 17 status. For the FTW Championship, fought under FTW rules. we got Jungle Jack Perry. No longer Jungle, just Jack Perry versus RVD. RVD hits that Rolling Thunder. He hits all of his spots. He gets his shit in. It's not enough to put Jack Perry away. Jack Perry wins with a schoolboy pin after, what's that ref's name? Aubrey Edwards gets her meddling fingers involved in this match. Adrian, what do you got to say?
RVD can still move. A lot of people were surprised. You go on Twitter, you go on Reddit, you go on Facebook. A lot of people were surprised, especially the fans that don't follow RVD on the indie scene. They were surprised he can still move. I was on Twitter talking with a fan, and he said this is actually the first time he's seen RVD. And a lot of people were not really cooking
Time
him.
out. First time ever he's ever seen RVD?
Yes.
How old is this guy? Like 16?
I have no idea, bro. I'll send you the screenshot because I took it. A lot of people were not really cooking him. They were like, hey, if you want to know more of RVD, watch RVD's matches with Jerry Lynn on ECW. Watch RVD versus John Cena One Night Stand. Watch RVD versus Sabu. And I'm like, this is what we're here to do. We're here to bring the wrestling community together. Although we're here to clown and roast about each other's favorite promotions and what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. But at the end of the day, this is what we're here to do, to bring the wrestling community together, because we're all fans at the end of the day.
Yep.
Let me send you that screenshot too while we're at it.
All right. Well, while you send that out, we get an interview with Alex Abrahantes backstage with Lucha Bros, and we get a good promo in English from the Death Triangle. This is definitely going to be a setting up for the Death Triangle versus the Blackpool Combat Club. In the previous promo, Jon Moxley had some things to say about how Death fears the Blackpool Combat Club. I thought that was a good reference to the Death Triangle, considering they're the Death Triangle. But yeah, anyways, continue along here.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you. And before we moved on, something that I just remembered and references in the JAS mandatory meeting. I believe it was Daddy Magic who told Jericho, now I know why Kevin Steen and Eddie Kingston don't like you anymore. Now I know the true Jericho. And there's been a report out there that Kevin Owens, for those who don't know, Kevin Steen is Kevin Owens from WWE. Kevin Owens had an interview and said that he did not like his time with Jericho when they were teaming up and when they were best friends. So that's a good little reference. I don't know if that was an alley-oop from Kevin Owens to AEW roster, but the connections were made.
Once again, AEW having to name out the company that they're secondary to for views, bro.
Ring of Honor? Kevin Steen?
Nah, bro. You know
Nah,
damn
fuck
well
with you.
Chris Jericho and him were together in WWE, bro. Fuck you.
Hey, I'm an AEW mark, bro.
Jesus. Anyway, so now we get the Adam Cole and MJF promo. They're in the ring talking about the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships and if they should challenge for it. Adam Cole says he's never held this title. He's held them all except for this one, and he wants to do it with his best friend, MJF. This causes Roderick Strong to come out with his broken freaking neck and say that he's jealous, and then he runs into the arms of, who are these guys? I feel like I had this discussion.
The Kingdom.
Okay, the Kingdom. He goes to the back. Adam Cole pushes MJF. MJF gets mad. He sucks it up and he says, go get your boy, bro. And then this is over. Adrian, what do you got to say?
Yeah, I had mixed feelings about this whole segment. Why were they coming out to announce that they wanted a shot at that Ring of Honor tag team titles? Were they going to start a promo off for All In? It pretty much went all over the place. MJF threw a few jabs at Adam Cole, told him that you are so skinny and ghostly pale white that if it were the 80s, Hogan would have snorted ya.
God damn.
He starts talking about his noodly arms.
Yep.
And then when Roderick Strong came out, MJF once again comes with the heat. He said, I want you to listen to some Taylor Swift and I want you to shake it off, you bland bitch.
The crowd, they start chanting, shake it off, shake it off.
The crowd was cooking. The crowd was cooking. But the match at All In, I don't know how I feel about that. Because that would mean, are you really going to have your main event stars that are going to be at All In lose for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions or win? And then later on the night, fight for the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Make fucking sense, bro. Because that to me does not make sense at all. Do you agree?
It doesn't, bro. You have all these tag teams on Ring of Honor that can fight for the title. And they have these two guys, these two jamokes that just lost their chance at the title of AEW. So that puts them to the front of the line just because Adam Cole wants the title shot. Wrestlers booking their own matches, bro.
Yup. I think that's the only down that I have for this show. I don't know if it's been made already, because every other match was made already.
I mean, it may be on the card. I think they're going to wait to see what happens. I mean, it was never approved. It was never mentioned that they are going to have that match. It was just mentioned that they should.
Hopefully they don't, because it's going to be ass.
Man. All right. So then after that, we get the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Lucha Brothers. And I mean, it's a good hard-hitting match. The Blackpool Combat Club wins with a schoolboy, second schoolboy of the night. Handful of tights from Jon Moxley on Penta El Cero Miedo. Afterwards, the Blackpool Combat Club just beats the living dog shit out of the Lucha Bros. They rip Penta's mask off. Claudio puts it on. Bunch of shit just going wild. It's fucking crazy. Nobody came out to save them. I thought somebody was going to come out to save them. I thought it was going to be Pac. Nobody comes out. They just get the living shit beat out of them. Adrian?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought somebody was going to come out. Vikingo, Commander, somebody backstage. Nobody came out. I saw the Lucha Bros get their ass kicked. Not legally on the squared circle. And then after the bell, they were still getting their asses kicked. Hopefully this leads to something because the Lucha Bros are former AEW Trios, Tag Team, and Ring of Honor champions. So a match at All In would be great for the Lucha Bros.
Yep. Then after that, we get an interview with Kenny Omega. He just puts over the Bucks plan versus the FTR for All In. And that he doesn't have any plans for All In, essentially, is what he says, right? He's trying to find somebody. Who is it going to be, Adrian? Is it going to be Will Ospreay?
That we'll find out next week because he said he was going to have a sit-down with JR. Good old JR sit-downs are always on point. You know, the ones in WWF back in the day, classic. Is it going to be the same as that? We don't know. Probably not. Come on, Attitude Era? One of the best eras of wrestling.
Copy and paste booking.
So what, nobody can have a sit-down now?
I'm just kidding, bro.
Fucking defense mode.
Oh, man. So then we get the Mogul Embassy making their entrance. They get on the mic. Adrian, what happens here?
Essentially, AR Fox turned on Darby Allin because he didn't put a word in when he joined AEW. AR Fox had to do it on his own, but he was basically jealous at Nick Wayne for getting help from Darby Allin to get to AEW. You know, we already know for 2 weeks ago that AR Fox helped Darby Allin, was training with him, was living with him. Basically get him straight on the right path of wrestling. And then when Darby Allin joined AEW, you know, AR Fox was kind of salty. Hey, bro, like, I helped you out. You at this big company now. Throw me a bone. Help me out like the same way I helped you out. AR Fox was a bit jealous. AR Fox just seemed kind of, I don't know, I think it needed more of a build-up. Only because if you're just going to say, I was jealous because you didn't put in a good word for me, like, I think there needs to be more explanation on why something like this is happening. You know?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Either way, so it's going to be AR Fox, Swerve Scott versus Darbs and Sting at All In.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then most likely it's not going to be a retirement match. I know I texted you and I said, oh, I predicted this, a retirement match at All In. But it's not.
Nah, it's probably not going to be.
It's going to be a coffin match, actually.
Ah, okay. All right. So you might have noticed that I skipped something that was mentioned previously in the show because we're now here at the main event. I predicted and I said, if motherfucking Tony Khan creates a tournament to find out who is going to be facing Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship, I'm going to be pissed. And I said, if it's Sky Blue, I'm going to be pissed. And then I also said, the person that should get the first title shot is Tony Storm to be a rematch. And Tony motherfucking Khan listens to me, bro. He said, Brian, you're right. I'm going to put Tony Storm and give her buy-in into All In. She's going to be in the Women's AEW World Championship match at All In. But then he also laughed in my face. He gave Anna Jay the first title shot. And the fucking champion has to qualify to defend her own title, bro? No mames. So the champion has to win her part of the tournament to get into the match. The rematch person gets a bye. Make it make sense. And then they have Saraya versus Sky Blue. Saraya is probably going to win because it's in England, right? And if she doesn't, then either way, Sky Blue gets in. So I'm hoping it's Saraya getting in. And the other bracket is Britt Baker, DMD versus who? The fucking bunny? Who? Why? There's so many other women on their roster. I mean, just give her a jobber at this point. Anyways, so yeah, that's what we're going to have here. And that leads us into this match. The main event, Anna Jay versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's Championship.
Hold on, before you start, you said Tony Khan listens to you, right?
He listens to Triggered Wrestling, yes, confirmed.
Yes, confirmed. That is correct. But he also, I don't know if you caught that little detail that you always complaining about. Why are you going to announce a match later on for a pay-per-view and still have a match with a champion? Kind of like, what's that guy's name? David West on NXT with Dominic Mysterio and Mustafa Ali?
Yeah, so Dominic Mysterio actually won that match and it turned into a triple threat. But this one, the champion has to defend her title to get into the match at All In to defend the title. So technically Anna Jay could have won and Anna Jay could have been defending her title at the event, but
Yes.
it doesn't make sense.
I mean, in a way, yes and no. Only because if a title match is already announced, why announce a title match for the future? So if you're going to be the champion and you have a title match, you either have to win or lose to qualify for the final.
But then wouldn't the first person to challenge the title be the one that you just beat for the rematch?
That's where the smart of Tony Storm comes in. It doesn't matter when or where you get your rematch, as long as you get a rematch.
So fuck it. So according to that logic, Finn Balor, he lost his title and got stripped. So 7 years later, he's like, I'm going to finally cash in, bro. My rematch clause. No mames. Stop,
That
bro.
ain't on me. That's on Finn Balor, bro. That's on Finn Balor.
Fuck. Anyways, I just think that this is a big fuck you to the women's division with everything that has been happening online with the women don't get enough TV time. He gives the women the main event 2 weeks in a row. Is anybody begging for Hikaru Shida versus Anna Jay? No. I'm okay with Hikaru Shida versus Toni Storm, but Anna Jay, who hasn't wrestled on TV in weeks, the last I heard of her was that terrible match that she had with Britt Baker on a house show. I mean, I'm sure she had a match on Collision, right? Or Rampage, but still, goddamn.
Yeah, she did. She had a match, and I believe she defeated Sky Blue for the chance at the world title.
Jesus. Anyways, point of story being...
Part of the story being, we need to watch the product before we start talking shit. Because the shit gets missed.
You're right. But it's just Rampage is so hard to watch.
I know.
Either way. But even then, dude, I mean, Anna Jay, other than that match, is she on TV a lot and I just miss her or what?
No, Anna Jay, to be honest, no. Anna Jay, I'll agree with you. I would have probably put somebody else. But to be fair, I don't think there's nobody else in the women's division right now, especially healthy-wise, especially a woman that can be in the main event, kind of like Hikaru Shida.
Is Willow Nightingale injured?
That I don't know.
Is Ruby Soho injured?
I don't even know where Ruby Soho is at.
I don't know, man. Well, we'll see what happens. But that's our review for AEW Dynamite. I feel like after this show went on, there's a couple things that happened that got announced. Like, I think I saw online that the Rampage results came out. We're not going to talk about those. But there's one thing I want to talk about, Adrian. And I don't know if you saw online that Marty Jannetty, hours before his episode of Dark Side of the Ring came out, he said that a lot of the stuff on that documentary is not true. That's fucking wild to me. I don't know if you saw those, Adrian.
No, I did not. And I have not seen that episode, which I need to watch. Everybody's been talking about it.
Yeah, man. Apparently he killed somebody allegedly for a storyline in wrestling.
Yes.
So there's a lot to miss. So if you have not seen it, I recommend seeing Marty Jannetty.
I did hear something online that said if Dark Side of the Ring runs out of ideas, they can just do seasons on Marty Jannetty stuff and they'll have content. I gotta watch the episode.
Bro, I just saw so many shit online. Because in the documentary, Marty Jannetty's talking about that him and Shawn Michaels used to get nothing but dimes and all these hot girls.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
They interview his ex-girlfriend, bro. And then, I feel bad bringing this up. And granted, she's probably like 60 or 50 at this point and probably seen her fair share of things. But the internet was not too pleasant with the words and calling him a liar with the quality of dames he probably actually got.
Yeah, that I don't know, but... I'm just gonna stay quiet on that subject because everybody's beautiful.
I'm just repeating what the internet said, bro. They were calling it out, bro, and that's why we're triggered wrestling, because the wrestling fan base gets triggered very easily with everything. So if you dive deep into those comments, bro, you'll see everything.
Yeah. Could you believe someone? I forgot what I said. I said something positive about AEW or something negative about WWE. I forgot what it was. And somebody in the comments really said to me, like, don't expect nothing intelligent coming from a vegan. And then I looked at myself and I looked at my wife. I'm like, I'm a vegan? Like, what the fuck is that, bro?
Yeah, bro. It's because they heard us talking about the meat sticks on last episode. That's why. Well, that's that. All right, let's talk really briefly about WWE Raw here from August 7th, 2023. Adrian, you want to run down the show for us?
The show starts off with my man, my guy, Cody Rhodes. He pretty much just said what went after the match, what his mom told him, and that Brock Lesnar acknowledged you. That's a good hint at Roman Reigns. And Cody Rhodes feels that he can beat anybody. And then who comes out right on cue? Your boy, Seth Pimpinella Rollins, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I like the shoes that he's wearing right now. The yellow ones,
The yellow croc looking boots.
I
the
like
big
those.
boots.
I like those. I didn't like the red ones, but I like those. I don't know why.
Wow. It's the
I like
holes they get you, bro. Just because they look like Croc Martens.
So what, you calling me Marty Jannetty now?
No, like Doc Martens, but Croc
Oh,
Martens.
And then obviously, Judgment Day come out, they start talking. Damian Priest said, "You don't dictate what happens to championships around here. We do. Rhea Ripley is a women's champion and Dominic is a North American champion and he's the Money in the Bank. Or should I say, Señor Money in the Bank."
No mames. Anyways.
Yeah, and out of nowhere, Balor comes out, attacks Rollins and Cody. Sami Zayn comes out and starts getting in the brawl and the altercation. And then what do you know? We have a main event set up for tonight. Great setup. Went a little too longer, but it was a great setup for the main event.
Yep. Then we talk about here Chad Gable, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, and Tommaso Ciampa for the number one contenders match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. So before we got into the match, they recapped Gunther and Drew McIntyre from Saturday. We got some recap of Ricochet complained to Adam Pearce. I'm telling you, bro, he's going to turn heel.
Recaps?
Recaps.
Nah, I'm playing. I'm messing with you, bro.
All right. Anyways, we have this banger of a match. I'm just kidding. They had a lot of those weird standing spots where they're just waiting, and they had like that. What do they call them? Like the super power bomb, the super suplex spot that they do in the corner that they do all the time.
Yeah. That you lay on top of the corner, and then someone comes down, and then body slams you or power bombs you.
Yep, that one, bro. But it just took so long to set up. It took like a minute. Ricochet's just sitting there waiting for this guy to get hugged, and then this guy comes out and hugs the other guy from the bottom and does a reach around, and then they do the spot, bro. I don't like that stuff.
The match, I'm not gonna lie, this is my type of match. This is a match that WWE fans hate in AEW. I don't know why. They're having a similar match here in WWE, and it was amazing. I don't mind spots like that. I know people, or mainly WWE fans, hate it when people wait too long for a move or something, like with Commander or Hijo del Vikingo. I liked it. The chop off they had, it was great for Chad Gable to get the victory over these men. But he kind of announced it earlier that it was his hometown, so it was kind of predictable. But it was still a great match. Excellent match. Having said that, all that build up they did for Prince Puma and the match he had against Logan Paul at SummerSlam, either they're gonna do something with him or they're not.
He's going to be a heel, bro. He's gonna be the Jungle Boy of WWE. He's gonna put a black suit on or a black leather jacket. He's gonna put sunglasses on. He's gonna be a heel.
Oh, so this is the same copy and paste booking that they do. You're gonna have him go through a sequence of losses, and then I don't know, we'll just turn heel.
Yeah, he's gonna put sunglasses on and he's gonna stop smiling. He's gonna be a heel.
Damn.
But Chad Gable wins, and he's the number one contender for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And I'm excited for that match.
Yep, me too, because Gunther can deliver, and I said it before and I'll say it again. Chad Gable is a better wrestler than a sports entertainer. Leave that shit to Otis and Maxine. Leave the fighting wrestling to Chad Gable. That's all you need.
Exactly. All right, so that gets us into another recap of Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. So I'm not going to talk about that because, we know what happened. But backstage, we see Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn chatting about what's going to be happening. Then Seth Rollins comes up and starts talking that shit with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, he said, "This is why I don't like you, man. You strategizing behind my back." I agree with Seth Rollins in here, man. Cody Rhodes, what is you doing? You're going to strategize. You better get all members of the team together. That sets up tension for a potential feud with Cody and Rollins. Great. I like it.
Then we get a recap of Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, bro. And I know you love these recaps, especially after pay-per-views. They're just excessive, especially because apparently some people don't watch the PLE, even though I feel like most people do, or at least keep up on with what happened. But either way. And then let me tell you here, brother, I'm a big Miz Mark, bro. And LA Knight versus The Miz, I'm all here for it. So we get this little promo here, this little backstage segment, I should say, of The Miz on the phone ordering that sushi. When someone comes up and tells him that he has to wait because LA Knight is doing a photo shoot, The Miz promises that Adam Pearce will hear about this later and then walks off. My God, we're going to get there when we get there, but I'm excited for this.
Yeah, so wins the Log of Meat tournament. Instead of getting a title shot or a push, you go up against The Miz.
Bro, that's like the best fucking prize. He's a guaranteed fucking gateway keeper to the future of wrestling, my guy.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody that's ever been a world heavyweight champion has beaten The Miz. So he's he's the gatekeeper here.
Yeah, and everybody who debuts has to go through the Miz.
So LA Knight wins the meat stick and then he gets he gets the Miz. Got it. All right. Then we get Bronson Reed versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura wins with a Kinshasa. So this is like the match that Shinsuke wanted to begin with but kept getting interrupted, right?
Yes. And then Tommaso Ciampa also wanted a match with Bronson Reed, and Nakamura interrupted.
And Ricochet also wanted a match previously, right? Remember all that stuff?
Yeah, the whole trios, feud that they had going on. Yeah.
So Shinsuke Nakamura finally gets his match, and he finally beats Bronson Reed here. I don't know what's going on. What the fuck's going to happen here, Adrian? Are they just going to keep going back and forth? Is everybody going to go through Bronson Reed now? Like, I don't understand.
That's kind of hard because, Bronson Reed came as a Miz lackey. Nothing against showing up and re-debuting as a Miz lackey. Some people could say he's lost in the shuffle. A lot of people were saying, oh yes, Bronson Reed is finally back. Finally, we're going to get a big man in the title picture. I have not seen that yet from Bronson Reed. He has a long way to go. His career is far from over. There's going to be another chance for a potential push, for a potential title shot. Time will tell, but right now it is not his time. Right now, he's probably going to, stick to the mid-card, do a bunch of nothing, potentially get another title shot or another push or a good storyline, Buys a Shrek, puts on the suit, lays a promo down. We'll see what happens.
So after that, we get a recap of the feud of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez here. Then we get footage of Raquel Rodriguez being told that she's not cleared yet. Then we get to see Becky Lynch making her entrance. Adrian, anything about all these recaps that we've been seeing today?
No, not really. What's funny about these recaps, and we were talking, and I think you made a joke about it on our group chat. You said that a Collision drew over, 380 viewers, and that half the viewers went to watch SummerSlam?
Yeah, they drew like 480, and I want to say Collision usually is about 700, so let's just call it half. We're probably watching SummerSlam on Saturday.
Yeah, here's the thing. At the beginning of the show, they had a full SummerSlam recap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prince Puma makes his way to the ring, recap.
Mm-hmm.
LA Knight, recap. Cody Rhodes, 2 recaps. He even brought it up on his promo. WWE fans are watching the product, and even if they're not, they are keeping up with social media. Are these recaps excessive? Yes. Can they build more storylines if they take away the recaps? Yes, they can. They have the roster, they have the writers, and they have the booker. Something needs to be done about these recaps because Raw is drawing over 1.7, 1.8? And if they want to get the fans invested in more wrestlers, put them on TV. And I'll bring that energy later on the show because I have 2 perfect examples of talent being wasted.
Ooh, I want to know more about that. So then back from commercial, we get a media hype reel for the SummerSlam we just saw, and we saw one at the beginning, right? So just continuing along with that theme, we finally get to see Maxine Dupree on the phone putting over her boys when Ludwig Kaiser comes up and lets them know that the ring general is going to be ready to fight Chad Gable. Ludwig also says that he's had his eyes set on Maxine and that she's got the potential to be a world heavyweight champion as a woman, but she just needs to understand that some people are better than others, and then pretty much gets himself slapped, right?
Yeah. A man spitting some game. What's wrong with that? I thought it was a cool segment. Ludwig Kaiser just barged into the Alpha Academy locker room and started spitting some game. My man has some cojones right there, bro.
Yeah, bro. Isn't that guy, who is he with? He's with someone from NXT, isn't he?
I believe so, yes. It's funny because I was watching Raw and I'm like, I thought he was either engaged or married or with someone in NXT or in the roster. I don't know.
Tiffany Stratton, bro. My Google isn't broken. He's dating NXT Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton.
Okay, Tiffany Stratton it is. Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Otis comes out to defend Maxine Dupree, and Ludwig Kaiser challenged him to a match later on the night, and we'll talk about that when the match comes.
And then we get another fucking recap here. Fucking Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus saga. Then we finally get to see Lynch in the ring, bro. So she's been in the ring since commercial break. Then we get to see all these segments. Then we get a recap of this. And then now she's in the ring. She already made her entrance, bro. No mames. How long has she been there? How long has she been in the ring?
Yeah, for a long time, yes. She was making lemonade, bro.
She was making lemonade during all those fucking segments, bro. No mames. But yeah, she was drinking lemonade, right? She was. All right. So then Zoe Stark makes her way down. She calls Becky Lynch obsessed and that this was over long ago and she's been beaten. She's been, what does the guy say from fucking the one medieval movie, The Knight's Tale? He's like, you've been beaten, you've been measured, and you've been left wanting. So I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but it's a classic. Anyways, point of story being, Adrian, what happens here?
Zoe Starks basically calls it like it is. You know, Trish beat you, I beat you, and you're scared of Trish Stratus, which is why you politic your way to ban me from the match next week. Becky Lynch laughs it off, tells her that Trish Stratus is good, but she's sending her in the wrong path, and Zoe Starks should be fighting for a title. And that's something that I've been saying for a while. Becky Lynch is doing nothing for Zoe Starks' career. Zoe Starks also says that she's the hottest rising star in WWE today and the baddest woman on the roster. And then guess who comes out? Shayna Baszler. Why? I have no idea.
With a big ass fucking black eye, bro.
Yes. That's what I was saying, bro. If you guys heard our SummerSlam recap, there you go. I said it. I saw the punches, the real punches being thrown between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, and her face showed. But then we also get the match. It was a pretty cool match. A lot of movement, a lot of maneuvers, holds from Shayna Baszler. Right away, Zoe Starks starts attacking the eye and the injured arm from Shayna Baszler. So she has an advantage there. But for some reason, she couldn't capitalize on that advantage, and she ends up losing the match. So the whole putting yourself on a pedestal, saying you're the baddest woman and saying you can beat anybody, all of a sudden you couldn't beat an injured Shayna Baszler?
A blinded Shayna Baszler, bro. But that was the match. Let me scoop back a little bit here. So before they actually got into the match, right? Adam Pearce comes out. He makes it official that they're going to fight. And then they go back to commercial break. They come back from commercial break with a recap of the World Heavyweight Championship match from SummerSlam. And then there's a backstage segment of Finn Balor chatting up with JD Madonna with Judgment Day, bro. And then after that is when they get into the match, bro. So, I mean, how long has it been? I want to say 10, 15 minutes since Becky Lynch made her entrance. And at this point, there's been 2 commercial breaks, 2 promos, bunch of recaps, and now they get to the match, and she's not even in the match, bro. She's just on the sidelines.
Drinking lemonade.
Is that a punishment, bro? I have no idea. But they pretty much had her waiting out there. 2 commercial breaks, hella promos, hella backstage segments, bro. No mains. I think she's being punished. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. We are Triggered Wrestling. And then on Twitter, we are Trig Wrestling. Trig, TRIGG_wrestling. Adrian?
Yeah, I didn't really want to mention it because I'm so over these recaps. I mean, by us saying recaps, it's basically the fans are probably like, oh, wow, another recap. But yeah, man, I don't know. Becky Lynch is being punished. She did throw a jab at Paul Levesque. She is feeling some type of way, especially since WrestleMania of this year when she expressed her words against Cody Rhodes for being in the main event and not her hubby. So maybe something's going on backstage, but I don't know. I don't know who to believe. I don't know what's going on. We'll just see how this plays out.
Yep. So after that match, we get Ludwig Kaiser versus Otis Dozovic. Gunther slides in and interferes to get Ludwig Kaiser the win with, I guess, the big boot that Gunther laid, right?
Yep. It took 3 people to defeat Otis.
It's a big ass dude, bro.
It's true, big ass dude.
All right. And then now let's kind of skip along here. We get a recap of the beatdown that JD Madonna gave Sami Zayn earlier.
The ghost beatdown, let's be correct on that, because none of those punches connected. But for some reason, Sami Zayn was injured after that.
Yeah, bro. Somehow, miraculously, he already had a big ass bump on his elbow after those ghost punches.
Yep.
One thing I want to talk about. So, Sonya Deville is injured. Sami Zayn is injured. They said Kevin Owens was injured as well. Big E probably going to be retiring here pretty soon. Elton Prince from Pretty Deadly is injured.
Allegedly, Roman Reigns suffered an injury at SummerSlam.
There is just, bro, fucking injury bug wild going on in WWE. The tag teams, both tag teams are having injuries, right? So the women's and the men's, bro, it's fucking wild. Is this poor timing? Whose fault is this, my guy?
I don't know, man. I think we should blame somebody because they do have a performance center, right? This is what I like to bring up. I don't care whether you're an AEW fan or a WWE fan, but when you want to talk some smack and we want to say, oh, this is why a lot of people in AEW are getting injured because they don't have a training facility, they don't have a performance center. Just imagine if they had that. None of these injuries would happen. That's fine. That's their own opinion. They can express their feelings any type of way they want. But when WWE actually has the training facilities and the performance center and the trainers and injuries still happen, goes to show you that no matter what you do, nobody can avoid an injury. Everybody who steps onto a field, a soccer pitch, a basketball court, anywhere related to sports, an injury can come out of nowhere. Doesn't matter if you're the safest worker, doesn't matter if you're the guy that's training the most. Injuries happen, and I think it's just bad timing. It sucks for these wrestlers that injured. Hopefully they can make a full recovery. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and blame people. It's just nature, you know?
Yeah, it's just bad luck. I mean, honestly, the only thing I want to say is probably bad luck is Sami Zayn's elbow, because I want to say he's had that elbow drained quite a few times. I want to say one of the times was like right before he faced Roman Reigns, dude. I want to say he had it drained a couple months before then, but I feel like he's had issues with this fucking elbow before. I'm not going to Google it. I'm too lazy. But yeah, so coming back, bro, we were talking about the possible promo battle of MJF and Adam Cole, and here we get a promo battle of two of the best talkers of all time, second and third to Enzo Amore.
His words, not mine. Brian's words, not mine.
Bro, that's like from like episode 3 when I name dropped Enzo Amore being like on the Mount Rushmore of talkers. But
Season 1.
Season 1. But yeah, so LA Knight and The Miz have a fucking beast promo here. The Miz says he doesn't deserve to shake my hand. LA Knight says, I'm gonna use you as a stepping stone. This match I'm excited for, bro, because both of these guys are really good on the mic. They both put on solid matches, dude. I'm excited.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of The Miz. He did deliver in this promo, especially with a couple of liners that could have destroyed anybody. The man said, LA Knight is just a flavor of the man to the fans. That's it. For 5 months, people are going to buy your merch, and after that, they're going to be tired of you. He also called LA Knight an Attitude Era fanboy. That's a jab to all the people that are saying LA Knight is just a copycat of The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
And then LA Knight also had a few jabs of himself. He said he's a dangerous man, while Miz has just been a punching bag to everybody. LA Knight did not get hired by WWE because they knew he wasn't going to let anybody walk all over him. But The Miz is just a lackey, and he let everybody walk all over him, which is why they're in 2 separate worlds. And now LA Knight and Miz met at Monday Night Raw. I like the promo, I'm not going to lie. I came into this promo thinking, it's not that good. The fans are just hyping it like they do all the time. I liked it. It was great. Can the match deliver? Eli Drake, if Eli Drake shows up in that match, yes, the match will deliver. I haven't seen no LA Knight matches. I know the styles are different when it comes to WWE and other promotions. Hopefully LA Knight can deliver.
I think he can deliver, bro. And where are we going to see this match? It's gonna be, I hope this match isn't on Raw. I hope it's like at a PLE, bro. Build it up, bro. Don't be shooting your shot on fucking live TV, bro. Put it on something special.
SmackDown?
Nah, bro. Oh, bro. If they was on SmackDown here in Sacramento, bro, I'd be so happy, but it's not going to be. Speaking of which, did you get your tickets?
Yes and no.
What the fuck does that even mean?
No, and I'm still hoping I'll get tickets later on.
Okay, all right. Well, I got my ticket. Moving on, we have the Viking Raiders come out to make an open challenge, and we see a return of 2 people that were injured. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods make their return to Monday Night Raw. Of course they weren't going to lose. They're coming back. And the Viking Raiders, I don't know, man. I just hope that New Day don't end up feuding with the Viking Raiders. I just feel like this would be a wasted feud. The Viking Raiders are just not interesting to me. I don't know if it's just me. Is it you, Adrian? What do you feel about the Viking Raiders here?
Viking Raiders are not interesting at all. I mean, right before the match, there was a vignette video that the Viking Raiders released, and they essentially said, or what's her name? Valhalla, she said, after a vicious, glorious campaign, the gods call upon us, and we challenge anyone to bring battle, and we will sacrifice them. But then they end up losing the match. What was the point of all that vignette and build-up? I know you hate when AEW doesn't do stories and they don't do enough for building up characters, right? WWE has done all they can to build up the Viking Raiders, and people are still not interested in them. Why is that?
I'll repeat that one more time. What?
So I know in AEW how you hate when they don't build up characters or wrestlers or give them a story, right? WWE has done that with the Viking Raiders, with vignettes, with promos, with feuds, but they're still not over and people don't care about them. So why do you think that's...
I think it could just be the character that they are portraying. It could be also that the character just doesn't fit them. I mean, they're big, they're scary. And what's your point? Like, they don't put on like damaging, menacing matches. It's not like they're brutally punishing people and they constantly lose. And on top of that, when they debuted it as the Viking Experience, I mean, in NXT, they were dope. Then they come up their Viking Experience and then they get changed to like the Viking something. And then they finally decide on the Viking Raiders. Like, they've been fucking neutered from the beginning since they made their debut, bro. And then they get treated like as a joke with the Street Profits when they were playing basketball and doing bowling contests. And now Valhalla comes in and then we're supposed to take them seriously? I don't think so. I mean, that's my problem with this. It's like the Dark Order from, like, I was going to say the Dark Order from Rich. Like, the actual Dark Order. Like, are we supposed to take them serious now? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it does not make sense. To me, I feel like the only reason why the Viking Raiders are not being taken seriously is because all the goofy-ass segments that you just mentioned with the Street Profits. And they're not winning their matches. They're not winning their feuds. So if you're building somebody up like to be the next big bad thing and they're on a losing streak, people are going to forget. This is why I like competitive matches in wrestling, because you lose a match, but you still look strong and people can get behind you. I like that. I still think WWE could still save the Viking Raiders, but who knows?
I don't know, man. When they had Valhalla lose to somebody that was not even a trained wrestler.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot about that, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and that was like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, either way, that's that. Coming back here, we see Judgment Day coming to make their entrance, and then Raquel Rodriguez ends up blindsiding Rhea Ripley and beats her down. And so we're finally, hopefully, going to get this match at the next PLE. Adrian, you got anything to say about that little segment there?
I'm excited for this match because the first time I actually saw Raquel Rodriguez wrestle was at a house show here in Sacramento, California, Golden One Center. And I saw Raquel and I was like, who is that? I've been sleeping on Raquel Rodriguez. But then when I tuned in to Monday Night Raw, she's a complete different person. You know, so it's like if she can bring whatever she brought at NXT and in that house show to her match against Rhea Ripley, it's going to be a good match. But right now it's like, I mean, you're injured. You keep getting re-injured by attacking Rhea. Are you ever going to be at 100%? Because if you're not, then you're just going to be another lackey, another jobber for Rhea Ripley. I don't know. Or I just think maybe they're building up Rhea Ripley too strong. It doesn't look like any woman can take her on, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, Raquel Rodriguez has the generic baby face gimmick right now. She needs to do something different. Like, at least in NXT, when she was the baby face, she had some sort of edge to her. Right now, she just comes out there like, I'm just happy to be here, and I don't like that.
She also had the back.
Damn, bro. You're trying to say that fucking Braun Strowman blew the back out? Oh,
no, I mean, you're the one that's been telling me that back in NXT, her back was actually muscular and buff, and, you know, she showed it off.
Yeah, now, yeah. Now it's not, maybe it's the lights, bro. I don't know. That back has seen better days. What does he say? Her gimmick is, I have a back.
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, man. Then we get to our main event here, which is a trios match. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura replacing the injured Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and Finn Balor, the Judgment Day.
Before we start on that, see, this is what I wanted to bring up earlier. You have Shinsuke Nakamura, who had a match earlier on the night. You had Shayna Baszler, who looks beat the fuck up. She didn't even look like she was okay to compete with a black eye and then a sore shoulder. So you're going to put two people, one of them that already had a match, and a woman that's physically not 100%. Instead of having Shayna and Shinsuke in the match, have somebody that's just in catering in the back and put them on TV. You know, I would have liked it if Zoe Starks had that promo with Becky Lynch and was like, you know what? I'll prove it to you. I'm the toughest woman alive. I'll challenge anybody from the backstage. Somebody comes out, has a competitive match with Zoe Starks. Zoe Starks wins, and it still makes Zoe Starks look good. Because right now, especially after that loss of Shayna Baszler, at a 50% Shayna Baszler, and she lost? I mean, I don't know if she's getting punished again along with Becky Lynch, but something's got to happen here because there's plenty of women. I mean, you saw Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae with Raquel Rodriguez. They were on the show, but why aren't they having matches? The two tag team from NXT, Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. One of them two could have gone one-on-one against Zoe Starks. Would have had a great match. And it would have made both of them look strong. Zoe Starks look strong, and one of the other two women look strong. Shinsuke Nakamura, great, but he already had a match.
Or is that triggered energy, bro, when AEW's trying to have Adam Cole and MJF pull double duty?
I saw it. I said it was going to be trash.
Oh, okay. You didn't have triggered energy about... Oh, I guess you did. Never mind. I take that back. I retract my statement.
You know what I would have liked for this main event? It would have been better, a must-talk main event. If Cody Rhodes and Rollins would have gone up to the ring by themselves, and then Adam Pearce came out and said, hey, I found a tag team partner for you guys. Next thing you know, LA Knight's music hits, bam. The crowd goes wild, you have a banger of a match. I thought that would have been great, but for some reason, Shinsuke got another match, and a lot more people are going to be on the shuffle.
Papa H, bro, you guys need to hire Adrian as fucking creative writer, my guy. That would have been dope.
That would have been dope, right? LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Pimpinella Rollins all in the ring at the same time against Dark Order from Wish. Ooh, Oof.
But yeah, man. So Cody Rhodes, Pimpinala, Seth Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura win via pinfall. Cody and Seth Rollins start arguing, and then Sami Zayn tries to keep them apart, and Shinsuke ends up laying out Seth Rollins. So fucking Shinsuke's turning heel, bro. I mean, he said his character was going to show some edge. He's now in the World Heavyweight title division.
I mean, as much as I would like to say no, he's most likely is right now, especially when if you go online, all the fans want this match at Payback. Maybe they want Shinsuke and Rollins at Payback. It could be a good way for Damian Priest to finally cash in, but does that leap over a lot of people? You know, you have someone like LA Knight who is hot, who won a Slim Jim Battle Royale. You have Cody Rhodes, who just finished slaying the Beast. You have somebody like Dominic Mysterio, who retained his title against Dragon Lee on NXT. Finn Balor, he lost already. He can't get another title shot. I'll be pissed if he gets another title shot. Who else? Ludwig Kaiser, although he's been losing, but now, although he was losing in the past.
She's not going to get a championship match.
Something. I mean, I don't know. It would have been a good match. I would have. Ludwig Kaiser, yes, he was losing matches in the past, but those matches were competitive and they still made him look strong. I don't know, man. I would have preferred that somebody else, somebody that's hot. To me, I still would have put my money on LA Knight.
Got it. Well, that's our review of Monday Night Raw, Adrian. One thing I want to bring up to you here before we get off. AEW All In has now outsold WWF SummerSlam in Wembley Stadium. Any comments?
The times have changed. It's in the UK. I'm sure if AEW would have been around in the 80s and 90s as a secondary promotion, I don't think they would have sold that many. We already know that AEW is free on the UK TV and WWE isn't. It was a no-brainer to have the show in the UK, but I still think it's a good milestone for them because, you know, they're only 4 years old and they're already almost selling out Wembley Stadium. That's a good accomplishment to me.
How many of those tickets did Tony Khan purchase out of pocket to give out to fans and wrestling personnel or families of wrestlers that are going to be out there? Or is that included in that seat amount?
That could possibly be it. I mean, I have no problem with it. And hear me out, you're going to think I'm a huge mark. When it comes to the Super Bowl, players can only get so many tickets. And those tickets obviously go to the families. Same with WrestleMania. All the families got to be there in attendance. There was a executive box where the whole NXT roster was there. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, did the whole NXT roster pitch in to buy those tickets, or was it comped by WWE? Having said that, according to an article by Sportico, AEW has a current estimated value of $1 billion US. Do you think that's true or false?
False, bro. There's no fucking way. How? Nah, bro. There's no way they're worth $1 billion, bro. Stop.
Sam, I didn't even know who Sportico is. It's the first time I heard of them.
There's no fucking way they're worth $1 billion. I mean, I understand WWE is probably extremely overvalued at the price point that they were sold at because of just name, value, brand. Like, that all means something. When you think of wrestling, you don't think of AEW, you don't think of WCW, you don't think of Impact. Everybody, all older people, they're like, oh yeah, WWF. Yeah, they're WWE. Kind of like when people think about tissue paper, they think of Kleenex. Go, give me Kleenex. There can be so many brands, but people call it Kleenex. That's WWE. There's name value in the brand. AEW isn't there. Not even close. Not even close.
But you know what is estimated at $1 billion?
What?
The return of Team 3D for the first time in 7 years. They make their most anticipated return at Impact 1000 on September 9th at the Westchester Country Center in White Plains, New York. That's going to be amazing. Team 3D at Impact 1000?
See, I'm glad Impact got to 1,000 episodes. I know that it was kind of scarce there for the longest time. I'm glad they made it to 1,000 episodes. But 3D, I mean, I know they're valuable to the history of Impact, so I'll leave it there.
Yeah. And then one last thing, I know I joked about this numerous times, and I also joked about it on our Friends of Distance Nerding episode when we did our Revolution prediction or review. Our Revolution review.
Review, yeah.
I said that Ric Flair practically died twice in the ring in his last match, but no, Ric Flair actually fell asleep in his last match. He revealed it to Theo Vaughn on his podcast. So the was...
Oh, damn, bro. He fell asleep? So yes. He didn't die. He fell asleep during the match.
He fell asleep, and he said that Manuel...
It's Andrade, right?
Yes. Guy that's taking my girl. Andrade was practically waking him up. Hey, señor, it's your turn. Wake up, señor, por favor.
Damn.
Andrade was seriously... Like, you gotta watch the story, or if the fans out there, go watch it on YouTube. It's pretty funny stuff, especially Theo Vaughn and Ric Flair.
Damn, bro. Well, we're Triggered Wrestling, man. Fuck, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. We're Triggered Wrestling. On Twitter, we are Trig_Wrestling. Check out our sponsors, Barrio Toys, for your shopping action figure needs. Follow Cleat Check Exclusive for your shoe head needs, bro. They got all the exclusive kicks. If you want the newest Jordans that just came out, if you want the newest Adidas and you just have to have them, Cleat Check Exclusive on Instagram or shopcce.com. Use code TRIGGERED for free shipping in the United States of America.
Alaska and Hawaii excluded. You know what? I'm actually gonna hit him up and see if he has those Seth Rollins shoes that he was wearing on Raw, because I like those.
Damn, bro. That'd be a good shoe to have. I'm like, we should hit him up.
Yeah,
find out.
We should. All right. We are Triggered Wrestling. I'm Adrian.
I'm Brian.
Follow us, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, guys, stay triggered.
Deuces.